Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2021 Jeep Gladiator, we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Premium Hitch-mounted Bike Rack. So the rack that we have here today can hold up to a total of 4 bikes. However, if you need to carry an additional one, there's a 5-bike version available as well. But first impressions of the rack on the Gladiator, I think it's a really good idea to use a rack on this Jeep. Even though it has a bed, I can see putting 4 or 5 bikes in the bed, just almost an accident waiting to happen. You got bikes bouncing around back here, tangled up. You essentially would lose all of your bed space, and eventually I could just see it scratching or denting up your Jeep. If you're not concerned about that, then by all means, load them up back here and hit the road. But if you like organization and want to keep everything clean and easily accessible, using a bike rack would definitely achieve that. So there's a few things I really like about this setup. One of them being it's a nice compact way to carry around a lot of bikes. And what's a little bit different too is it's kind of a great in the middle all around rack. So the arms are a little bit wider back here, and the last two, they're a little bit smaller. So not only are they going to be able to carry around an adult size, full size bike, but they're really going to do a great job of allowing you to put those smaller, maybe kids frame bikes on there without any issues at all. So really convenient, can use it for a lot of different things. Now the way the rack works, super simple. That's one of the things I do love about it. It's just going to hold your bike down in 3 spots. So we have 2 straps here along the top tube and a strap down here. And that's going to act as a anti-sway strap. What that's going to do is just help prevent that side-to-side movement. That way if you're going down the road, hitting some bumps, you're not going to have to worry about your bikes, banging into each other and getting scratched up, things like that. That being said though, let's go ahead and pull this off so we can take a better look at the rack itself. So it's just a few straps. You just pull them down and kind of flip them up and over your bike. Same thing for the anti-sway strap here. And we're able to easily pull it off. And what's kind of nice too, how the arms do come in and get a little more narrow. It makes it a lot more manageable to kind of grab your bike and pull it off, as opposed to kind of having to fight it and wiggle it off the rack. So once you get it down on the ground, you can go hit the trails and have some fun. So what's kind of cool too is the Cradles here, where your bike's frame is going to sit. They have 3 different sides, so you can kind of rotate them to find whichever one kind of works the best for your bike's particular frame setup. And it's kind of almost a hard plastic. I really don't see it scratching up the paint, but if the paint job on your bike is really important, I may pay attention to that a little bit more. The straps are made from a pretty thick rubber material. I wouldn't say they're flimsy, but they're not super heavy duty at the same time, but I don't really see them wearing out very fast or getting too beat up over time. So you should get some pretty good use out of them. I do suggest so when you're not using the rack, just to kind of put them back into position. That way we don't have to worry about losing them or anything like that. Something I want to mention, whenever we do have the rack on the back of our Jeep, it is going to extend the overall length of it. And to figure out exactly how much, if we measure from the tailgate here to the very edge of the rack, looks like it's going to be right at about 41 inches. So quite a bit of space, and something you need to think about, especially if you're pulling into your garage or tight parking spots, something like that. Now, the good news is, when you're not using the rack, these arms actually do fold down into a stored position. You're going to have a pin here on the side. So you flip that open, and you can push that pin out. Sometimes it can be a little bit tight, but the arms will swing down. Definitely want to put that pin back into position if you're going to drive around with it like this. And as you can see, it actually turned it into a pretty compact rack. It's not really taking up a ton of space at all. I think the furthest point will probably be down here. So again, we'll measure from the tailgate to it. And like this, it's only going to add about 16 inches. So really shouldn't have any issues when you do go to pull into your garage or even that tight spot with the rack in this position. So one of the big questions we do get asked all the time in regards to bike racks is if you're still going to be able to have access to the back of your Jeep. And this one does fold down out of the way and allows us to do that. So what you're going to have to do is a few different things. You're going to have a T handle right here. You loosen that up and pull out this clip and pin. We'll have a T handle here where you kind of lift up on it, and that's going to allow the rack to swing down and out of the way. That way we can open up our tailgate and easily be able to get anything we might need in and out of the back of our Gladiator. So moving down here, the rack is going to work with those 2" by 2" receiver tube openings like we have here today on our Gladiator. And it's also going to come included with a anti-rattle bolt. So what that's going to do is eliminate any slop or play here in the connection point. And that's going to do a couple of different things. Not only is it going to help keep the ride inside of our Jeep a little more quiet because you won't hear the rack banging around back here, but it's also going to provide our bikes with a little more of a smooth ride as well. So to kind of give you an example how that works, say if you're going down the road, hitting some bumps, you can see that the rack is going to move with our Jeep and not on its own. So at the end of the day, a nice, compact, easy to use, reliable bike rack, and it's going to be another accessory that looks great on the back of the Jeep. And if you're anything like me, you wouldn't mind seeing the bike rack in action. So let's go ahead and load it up with some bikes, take it out on the test course, and see how it performs. This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then, onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. Last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway. And that'll finish up our look at of the CURT Premium Hitch-Mounted Bike Rack on our 2021 Jeep Gladiator.